What up, you guys? Welcome to my car on this Mail It In Wednesday. What a beautiful day it is. Currently 32 degrees in my Ash Gregoire, Chamonix Nissan. Another edition of In the Car with Star. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to the channel. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on the Twitter. We're everywhere, I think, but TikTok. Where else? The social. Yeah, we're not doing that. Discord. Apparently, that's what all the cool kids are doing these days. All the kids, all the youth is on Discord. I'm too old. I'm 43 years old. There's only so many social media platforms, you guys, I could be on. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that's about it. So here we are. Thanks for tuning in the Car with Star, brought to you as always by K-Stop Gaspar and Chamonix Nissan. Marc Bergevin gets called out by a former Montreal Canadiens captain. What a do, baby. Serge Savard, guns blazing, pow, 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 going after Marc Bergevin at the L'Omnium Serge Savard over at Le Club de Golf Le Mirage. And I feel very good about this. I feel very good about telling you about Serge Savard's aggressive comments directed at the former general manager of the Montreal Canadiens, basically saying what I've been telling you for a while, and that Marc Bergevin is a control freak. Is, and it was to the detriment of the Montreal Canadiens. And I hope that we can learn lessons from past failures, and you can learn from that experience, in particular, the ownership partnership with the Montreal Canadiens, that, you know, you give the keys to the franchise to an individual whose vision you trust, and it goes sideways. Yes, granted, it got you to a Stanley Cup final, but is this organization set up for prolonged, sustained success? Absolutely not. And Marc Bergevin was so controlling, was so adamant about everything that was done with the Montreal Canadiens had to go through him. Countless examples, one including the anthem singer. Like Marc Bergevin would ask about who's singing the anthem tonight, and if he didn't like the answer and the name that came back, guess what? That person didn't sing the anthem. Like, we're talking about $1 billion organization. Who gives a crap about who's singing the anthem? Why is the general manager, whose responsibility it is to oversee roster construction, to oversee player development, cares about what the anthem sounds like and who's singing it at the Bell Center? Anyways, just one example of a guy at 10 years on the job that got way too comfortable, was given way too much power, way too much control, and had a very old school way of thinking about building a hockey team. And 9.5 years is a big enough sample size to realize that it was a mistake. Yes, there's no takebacks in life. No one's going to regret going to the Stanley Cup final and being 3 wins away from a championship. But to me, it's about sustainability. It's about competitiveness, consistent competitiveness. And I like the way that Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon are operating. And I understand it's still the honeymoon phase. But some of the moves they've done, shrewd moves, business-like, calculated moves, as opposed to loyalty moves, old school ways. I'm going to pick a player that resembles me, that has character, stuff like that. You know, Marc Bergevin had a vision. Marc Bergevin decided how he wanted to build this team. 9.5 years later, you're left with the answer of what it was like. And now it's a massive overhaul, a massive overturn of bad contracts that were handed out. And here we are, getting that much closer to professional tryouts, to Canadiens training camp, and we're ready for another NHL season. You know, when I look around the sports landscape, it's hard not to pay attention to what's going on in the world of professional golf. And Tiger Woods, y'all, coming to save the day. How about this? How about that quote from Rory McIlroy, who was part of the meeting, the contingent of players that was in Delaware last night, and a meeting held by Tiger Woods, who's not playing at the BMW Championship in Delaware. Tiger is there to save the PGA Tour because the PGA Tour is in a world of trouble. And Rory McIlroy talking about it's quite clear that when Tiger's in the room, who the alpha male is, and Rory said, it ain't me. So what I think is happening here is that the PGA Tour, and myself included, I didn't take LIV that seriously, and now they're a lot more serious. World number 2, Cam Smith, is on the cusp of leaving the PGA Tour to dedicate his loyalties to the LIV Tour, and it's not going to end there. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Scott is going to go. Another Aussie, Mark Leishman, is likely to go. There's whispers of Patrick Cantlay. There's whispers of Hideki Matsuyama. So we're past the point, right, where I was guilty of this. Has been washed up players. Hudson Swafford, Taylor Gooch, Phil Mickelson. Who cares? These guys are going. No one watches these guys anymore. Now we're talking about world number 2 and other players ranked inside the top 10 of the official world golf rankings potentially leaving the PGA Tour for much more lucrative pastures with the Live Golf Series. And Tiger Woods understands, and he said this, he was offered upwards of $800 million to join Phil and Bryson and Brooks to leave PGA and to go join up with the Live Tour. And Tiger said thanks, but no thanks, and made it quite clear that his loyalties rest exclusively with the PGA Tour. So what's he doing? Tiger has 15 majors. This guy made his bones as a PGA Tour GOAT. And his loyalties, his bottom line is directly affected by the PGA Tour's status. And he has to get together. And look, it wasn't an all hands on deck. By accounts, Rory was there, Justin Thomas was there, I think Patrick Cantlay was there, a few other select guys from inside the top 20 of the official World Golf Rankings were at a hotel late last night. And I don't know what Tiger Woods had to say. There was a Zoom meeting I would love to have been a part of. But Tiger understands his place in golf history and how it's directly connected to the PGA Tour. The last thing the Tour wants is to be the golf equivalent of IndyCar. Remember when IndyCar split up? It was IRL, and they were doing all these subdivisions of Indy racing. Al Unser Jr., Michael Andretti. I mean, IndyCar was a household brand when I was a kid growing up. In some circles more popular than Formula One. IndyCar has since gone by the wayside. It's no longer considered la creme de la creme of professional motorsports, and it's never recovered. I'd be lying if I told you I didn't think the PGA Tour's future could mimic that of IndyCar. And that's why Tiger Woods has seen enough. He knows Cam Smith's going, and it's time to make some adjustments. And I don't know. I would love to know what Tiger's ideas are. You know, I would love to know if the four majors are going to get together and say to hell with all these guys who want to, double dip, play PGA, play Live Tour golf, and play in majors. You know, Cam Smith found the perfect storm to leave PGA. You know, he's exempt to everything for the next 5 years. He's world number 2. He just won the Claret Jug. He could win almost $20 million on the FedEx if he wins it all, and then he's going to go make $150 million to go play Live Golf. I mean, it's the perfect storm for Cam Smith. Like I get it. I get it for him. So it is paramount that Tiger Woods and the rest of the brain trust of the PGA Tour. I'd love to know. Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA, wasn't even invited to that either, right? So. Fascinating times, my friend, in the world of who knew professional golf could be so sexy, you guys, which takes me to arguably maybe the softest athlete in the world of sports today. It's Patrick Reed. There's one guy. He's a major champ. This guy won the Masters, you guys. He is one of the most disliked professional golfers on the PGA Tour. I don't think you saw anybody crying when Patrick Reed left Live Tour. This guy's been kicked off a college golf team. He's been accused of cheating multiple times. He was caught cheating, moving his ball in the sand at the Hero World Challenge. He was penalized 2 shots for that. And Brandon Chambly of the Golf Channel has been taking his shots all the time at this guy, calls him a cheater. And as a result, Patrick Reed, when he's on tour at live events, he's getting heckled. Fans are calling him a cheater. And Patrick Reed is sensitive, and Patrick Reed doesn't like that. So Patrick Reed has decided to sue the Golf Channel, and Patrick Reed has decided to sue Brandon Chambly as well. Look, personally, I don't think this without an ounce of legal education, this lawsuit has no chance. No chance, zero. Can you imagine a world where athletes or anybody borderline famous can sue somebody like me or anybody else that has a microphone and has opinions because you said mean words or you weren't kind, you weren't pumping this guy's tires? Like, Patrick Reed is as soft as they come, my friend. And this is why he's disliked. It's why he's kicked off golf teams at the collegiate level. It's why nobody really cares what happens to Patrick Reed. It's why nobody cheers for this guy. And so this is what guys like Patrick Reed do, man. You know, and they're sitting here trying to grow the game. Not only are they lying, they're just flat out lying to your face. Just unbelievable how soft this guy is. I can't wait to see how this develops and what comes of this. Which takes me to what do you guys think? Do you like Starry Time or do you like Story Time with Star? Because I've got a pretty good hockey story that I absolutely love, and I wish I could really get into it and like drop some names because he's a household player. He's a household player who is arguably the cheapest guy in the history of hockey, and that says something. You know, I've told the story a couple times, right? Played golf with a couple of members of the Montreal Canadiens, one of which is still here. Another guy's moved on. He's played on a couple of other teams since then. And this guy shows up to the golf course with a maxi bag, a grocery plastic bag of loose golf balls. Sees his teammate in the pro shop where we're waiting to organize ourselves for our tea time, you know. And buddy's teammate walks in. He's like, "Oh, I got no money. You got to spot me money again." And these two guys are jawing back and forth. Apparently, one guy never has any money. Apparently, he always owes people because he never has any cash on him, so on and so forth, right? So it's just like everybody else. Just because they're rich and young and have tons of cash, it doesn't mean that some of them are a little bit tight, a little bit careful of where their money goes, right? So this one guy who plays for an American team in our time zone, right? Yeah, he struggles sometimes with the mental game, right? And this is a prime time player. This is a big time guy, plays a big time position in a big time market, and he struggles with the mental game sometimes. And there was one of his teammates, a veteran guy, who's been in the league for like 18 years, you know, and he was a perfect teammate, the perfect guy to help make things calm in turbulent times, or if somebody needed an ass kicking, he was there, right? Just the picture of the perfect teammate. This was this guy. So here you have a primetime player playing in a primetime market, playing a primetime position, who's very easily rattled, but he's an excellent player, right? And so this savvy veteran guy is holding the hands of this future superstar player, and they work out together. They train in the off season together. A lot of hand holding going on, right? And so ultimately, fast forward, and this is very consistent, very, very consistent. It's been this way for years together. The veteran, the young superstar, a lot of back and forth. The old guy is really showing the young buck the ropes and showing him how to be a real pro. And he did a great job. That this young superstar blossomed into getting one of the richest contracts in the history of hockey for the position that this guy plays. One of the richest contracts in the history of the game. And so in order to celebrate, they're going to go out to dinner together. Buddy brings his girlfriend at the time. The veteran brings his wife. The two couples go out to dinner. Nice, really fancy restaurant and everything else, right? And so you would think they're celebrating. The superstar finally cashes in, finally gets his contract. Wow, it's unbelievable how much money this guy gets, right? He did it. He finally did it. The waiter comes. Service is great. Food is 5 stars, as you would expect. The bill comes. The young superstar, fresh off the fat new contract, says, yeah, 2 bills, please. The veteran almost reached across the table and choked the life out of him. So it just goes to show you, you know what I mean? It just goes to show you, nobody's perfect. Everybody watches their money, and some people are a little clueless. Some people just don't get it. It just doesn't click. Like, picture yourself in that scenario, that exact scenario, right? You get a fat contract, all your hard work gets rewarded with big time bucks, because that's what it is, right? Pat on the back, the encouraging words, oh, great job. No, give me money. And this guy gets it. And I kid you not, the hand holding and the propping and the pumping of the tire, for years. 4 years. And the check comes, 2 bills, please. Q, how would you react in that situation? I might walk up and leave. I might just what is going on here? And sometimes I think about who are this guy's parents? How was he taught? I could, we always try to put ourselves in the position of these individuals sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't get it. But that's how we're all wired, and that's why we get fun stories like that told to us every now and again. In the Car with Star, brought to you as always by K-Stop Gas Bar and Depener. Fresh food made daily. They're on Highway 138 in Ganawage. The cheapest gas anywhere. Premium gas at discount prices. Their gas bar on Highway 138. It's right over the Mercier Bridge. It's open 24 hours a day. And their Depener, and I've told you about this many times, they got a lot of snacks that we just don't have access to. We have to cross the border and bring the snacks back. The Depener, they have a lot more too. If you smoke, they've got smokes. They got a great selection of booze. They have freshly prepared meals. Sir, and the menu changes all the time. Every day it's a different menu item, cooked fresh on site. It's K-Stop Gas Bar and Depanneur, proud sponsors of In the Car with Star, and of course this beautiful Nissan Maxima, courtesy of Ash Gregoire Chaminade Nissan, Quebec's #1 Nissan dealer. Shout out to Mike Joya and the entire Joya family. 3 years in a row, Chaminade Nissan is Quebec's Nissan dealership. And guess what? Because they're the best Nissan dealership, that means you want a new car, you want your dream car, they get it to you faster than the competition because they're the best in the land, the biggest. They move more cars than any Nissan dealership in Quebec. Full stop. End of sentence. 4299 Auto Route 440 West in Laval. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let's see. We got some comments today. Joel Sanderson. Bergevin was nuts. Was keeping alumni out of the dressing room really the wrong decision. Thanks, Joel. That was the thing that Serge Savard had talked about, right? Like building almost like a Trump wall between the Canadiens' dressing room and the Les Salles des Anciens Canadiens. And Serge Savard didn't appreciate that. I totally forgot about this. My partner on the morning show, Connor McKenna, brought this up this morning, and he was so right. And I think it was the 2001 season with Halak and the Canadiens going deep on the Halak run, right? Beating Washington, beating Pittsburgh, running into the Flyers buzzsaw. And remember that, and this is what Connor was talking about, Glenn Metropolitan with the fist bump from Jean Beliveau. Remember that? He's like, come on, let's go. And they give the fist bumps. That was an iconic moment in the Montreal Canadiens history. And Connor brought that to our attention this morning when talking about the Serge Savard story. At the end of it, though, I just don't think that these are small problems. These are small problems I think good organizations deal with. I think an organization like the Montreal Canadiens has bigger fish to fry than who's singing the anthem on some idle Tuesday night and what's Serge Savard doing? Where's Larry Robinson? When Jean Beliveau, God bless him, and Guy Lafleur, God bless him, when they were still with us, Marc Bergevin was worried about what Guy Lafleur, where was he? Where's Guy? Where's Guy? Where's Guy? Like, I don't know if that's what he was doing, but that's the image that's created when Marc Bergevin, the control freak that he was at the time, closing everything. And Marc Bergevin just wanted control, you guys. That's all he wanted. He wanted the team to run the way he envisioned it. He wanted players to say what he wanted them to say, and he wanted no outside interference that messed with his master plan. Point final. And he did everything in his power to execute his vision. That's it. And so Marc Bergevin decided that in the interest of the team, it was best to put some distance between the history and put some distance between the team. Let's not be hypocrites. We've talked about this before. We've talked about, the Canadiens, stop with the history, rolling out these guys, the banner, the torches, blah, 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 blah. So we can't have it both ways. Personally, I think it was too much. Like I said off the top, it's something that, if you're a well-run machine, these are small little fine-tuning things that you could do to better your organization. The Montreal Canadiens can't develop a player to save their life. Let's work on that. Let's work on those things. Let's learn on drafting good players, being patient with players, developing these guys, coaching them up, getting the power play to work, getting the PK to work. I don't know. This is just some dumb radio guy talking to his iPhone in his car. What the hell do I know? I watch a lot of hockey. You guys watch a lot of hockey. Come on. Let's be serious here. It'd be one thing if we're talking about Guy Lafleur and Jean Beliveau and all these great Montreal Canadiens from the past, constantly interfering, constantly in the Journal de Montréal, constantly on TSN 690, shooting from the hip and coming hard with these opinions. But no, that wasn't the case. To me, it was just a waste of time. And obviously, some of these guys, Serge Savard in particular, felt disrespected, which I relate to. I can understand. It was good. You wanted to pick Serge Savard's brain when it came to hiring people or, basing some of your hockey decisions. They ran it by Big Serge several times. So if Serge Savard's opinion was valuable, what are you putting the kibosh on the veterans for? A lot of inconsistencies. All that to say, I'm glad the organization has turned the page. I'm glad the organization has obviously moved on. I think they found really shrewd, sharp businessmen, hockey men that are going to run this team and bring it back to the level that Montreal Canadian fans deserve. And that's being an elite club for years. Full stop. That's what this market deserves. That's what the fans deserve in Montreal. This is not the Arizona Coyotes. It's not the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is the bleeping Montreal Canadiens. And they need and deserve, and the fans deserve, to have a winning team in this market every year. How do we do that? How do we get there? Because if we're not trying to get there, we're just wasting time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for some of the comments. Certainly appreciate that very much. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. It's nice to see the numbers go up. Leave a comment. I'll try to engage with as many of you as I possibly can. And that's it. All right. Thanks. Tell your friends. Be safe. Be cool. And we'll see you in a couple of days.